Okay, welcome. First video, first order of business. Kamaru Usman versus Joaquin Buckley. Who will win this welterweight bout? And to start with, I think we should talk about the elephant in the room, which is, of course, Kamaru Usman's knees. Not what they used to be. Even if they used to be anything, to be honest. He's even said himself that his knees were never good, in fact, which I have some criticisms for, but yeah, his knees are the big elephant in the room. They're going to be a massive factor in this fight, I think, especially with Joaquin Buckley, a guy who can pick these shots, a guy who can exploit your weaknesses. He can figure you out, unlike anyone else, apart from maybe Leon Edwards in the welterweight division, maybe Ian Gary, but no one's as explosive as Joaquin Buckley, other than Kamaru Usman in the welterweight division. I think he's got the perfect build for welterweight. If I was a welterweight, I definitely want to look like him, have his athleticism, his diverse striking, his well-roundedness, even with the takedowns. And I think he's going to be able to beat Kamaru Usman purely off of just overpowering him, defending takedowns, breaking his face, breaking his legs. I think the leg kick, even though Joaquin Buckley is not some elite leg kicker in the UFC, and obviously Kamaru Usman's got Justin Gaethje sparring against him in his training camp, I still think the leg kicks are going to be a big problem for Kamaru Usman in the fight. Kamaru Usman's a very experienced guy, but Joaquin Buckley's, he's looking for his title run. He's got a lot of momentum behind him. He's just simply too explosive, too big, too muscular for a guy like Kamaru Usman, who's 37, on a 3-fight losing streak, had a 2-year layoff, nearly 2 years layoff, and has no knees. He needs to change his knees like socks. You need to take your knees off and replace them. Take them off and just put new ones in. Because what have you even got here? I don't even know if you can call them knees anymore. They're more just an amalgamation of different mechatronics from various different surgeries. Let's look at Exhibit A, okay? So this is not Exhibit A. Wow, look at me. I'm not even ready. Let's pull up Exhibit A, YouTube. Oh, wow. Kamaru Usman versus Colby Covington. Here we go. Here we go. See, I promised I had it. Well, I don't have an ad blocker, sorry. But anyway,
spring in your step this spring.
Obviously,
With
the
latest
elephant in
running drops from the biggest
terrible knees. Joaquin Buckley's going to be able to exploit.
Whether you're here for a good time.
And yeah, it was just me waffling through it. But look at this. I'm sure everyone's seen this clip. What is he doing? What is he? Run it back. What is he doing? He's crouch walking over to relieve himself of the pain of walking normally with speed. He's walking in a fast manner to try get over to Colby Covington to finish him at the end of the round. But he can't do it because his knees are so fucked. The guy has to walk up the stairs backwards. This is the timing we're on with Kamaru Usman's knees. They don't get worse. They're the worst knees in UFC history. UFC Hall of Famer knees. This is what they are. There's truly no one with worse knees, worse legs. I mean, you look at his upper body and he's like, okay, yeah, this is a roided up athlete, okay? I mean, look at his legs and you're like, oh, okay, well, doesn't hit legs then, does he? But it's not his fault necessarily. I guess it is, because that brings me to another point. He's kind of obviously on roids. I mean, do you get that big as a welterweight unless you're a stockier guy like Joaquin Buckley? Kamaru Usman's 6 foot tall. He's not a smaller guy. I know 5'10" isn't that far off. But Kamaru Usman is not a small guy at all. But yeah, point has to be made. I used to be a massive Kamaru Usman fan. After watching MMA Guru's breakdown about 4 years ago, I kind of went, oh, he's kind of just a roid abuser. I mean, clear acne scars on his delts and his belly button, and his head changes shape every fight. He's got crazy athleticism and cardio for a guy who's so explosive and powerful. It just doesn't make sense. And this is one thing, like, his knees. Why does no one go for? Thank you, Redditor on UFC r/UFC. Why does no one go for Usman's knees? I think if anyone will, it's gonna be Joaquin Buckley, a guy who picks up on your weaknesses and exploits them for his own benefit. Also, this is him just like. Oh, okay, that's a bad shot. Let's save his dignity up before we flame him. But this is him lying.
Really, I'm good. It's funny because that's the joke, the running joke. They all knees. They don't realize knees were, if not worse, my first fight in the UFC.
Really, Kamaru? Let's look at his first fight in the UFC.
And more important than that, bragging rights forever.
Okay, him in this squat position,
The winner of this team challenge,
comfortably
American
bouncing.
top
Oh, and he walks over John Jones style on the crawl, just bouncy, lie on his feet, on the balls of his feet. You know, engage with the wrestling, get the idea. Now let's look at one of his most recent fights, not his most recent. Again, thumbs up because I wanted a fight against a striker where you're kind of free without having to worry from the takedown. Yeah, this is Kamaru Usman.
The game plans are obvious. Kamaru's going to use the wrestling.
The third fight against
Leon's going to stay on the feet, use the footwork, use the movement.
Flat feet. Oh, got scared there with that oblique kick. But yeah, you can see he's just flat-footed.
Yes, sir.
It's nothing
And
to
it's
it.
been well documented that Usman, the knees.
There goes Michael
long
Bisping
career,
about the
the
knees.
wrestling,
It's just
taking his
he's
toll on the knees,
flat-footed.
chipping away at those legs,
He's stumpy.
driving in heavy
There's
low
a
kicks.
clear difference in movement of the debuting Kamaru Usman to the current Kamaru Usman. Even his striking's even better as well. This Kamaru Usman is probably the best striker we have. Because it's the most evolved his striking's got since his debut, right? But it's just, it's stumpy, there's nothing to it. And I think Joaquin Buckley, a powerful, explosive guy who's looking for a title run, is easily going to take him out. The thing is with Joaquin Buckley, he's taking out old heads at the moment. Look, Stephen Thompson, got Colby Covington, Ruziboev, who's like a 6'5", huge guy. But look, he's taking out these old heads. TKO. And then I think he's going to do the same thing with Kamaru. I honestly think third round, maybe the first round will give to Joaquin Buckley. I think he'll engage the leg kicks. Maybe Kamaru's will land a takedown, hold him against the cage for a little bit, but I don't think he's going to get enough. Second round, I think Kamaru's might land a takedown. He might hold him for a little bit, maybe just inch the round away. And then the third round, I think, is where it ends. I think Kamaru shoots a takedown, but Joaquin Buckley times it right, shoots a knee up the middle, hurts Kamaru Usman, he's stumbling backwards, and that's when he goes in for the kill. He runs over, maybe throws a flying knee, misses it, and then it's kind of like a Oliveira Chandler 1 situation, or even 2 kind of, that was the point, but Oliveira Chandler 1 situation where Oliveira is kind of throwing uppercuts while Chandler's running against the cage. And that's kind of what it's going to be. And he clips him with a good one. He kind of just falls backwards, but stays on his feet, stumbling. And he hits with a couple more shots. I think the ref just stops it there in a kind of like Izzy Pereira 1 situation where Izzy's like this and Pereira's just teeing off on him. And then, yeah, I think it's a standing TKO. The ref stops it. And that's when you get Joaquin Buckley ready to take on the next one, who could be Leon Edwards. But who was it I wanted to see Joaquin Buckley fight? I would like to see him versus Bilal. I think he beats Bilal. I actually think he beats Bilal. I don't think he gets past JDM. Usman's next fight after Joaquin Buckley. He said he said he's gonna beat Joaquin Buckley and he wants Islam and Dricus du Plessis. Neither fight he wins, by the way. But it's an interesting dream from Kamaru Usman. He's got to be this kind of confident guy on the mic, but I don't think it's going to be enough. So there it is, Joaquin Buckley versus Kamaru Usman. I've got Joaquin Buckley by TKO on the feet. Kamaru Usman's just simply going to crumble under the pressure. Well, not crumble under the pressure, crumble under the pressure to his knees. His knees are just simply not it anymore. I know he's had fights before. He's always had fights with these bad knees, and every fight's like, oh, his knees are too much, he's too much. But this is where it's actually too much. I don't think he's going to be able to hold a guy like Joaquin Buckley, a strong welterweight. I know he's being, Stephen Thompson's an elite striker. He beat Stephen Thompson. Colby Covington, he's just so much bigger than Colby Covington actually fights at 170, which is his actual weight. He fights at his natural weight, which is just, it's ridiculous stuff. But, a guy like Kamaru, I used to be a massive Kamaru Usman fan, and that's when I kind of fell off him a little bit because of the roid stuff. I can't thought, okay, well, yeah, there you go. He's clearly on roids. I hope that's right, by the way, because imagine if it wasn't and I was just slandering him for no reason. But his dad's a corrupt pharmacist. He has to be on roids. But yeah, anyway, I used to be a massive Kamaru Usman fan. Same with John Jones. And then you kind of realise all these guys, it's not the same, and they're just clearly cheating. And I think Joaquin Buckley's a genuine guy. He's smart. He's underrated fight IQ. He's explosive, powerful. He's fast. He's got dynamic striking. He's well-rounded. He's going to be able to defend the takedowns to an extent. He did get taken down by Colby once out of 8, which, Colby is nowhere near as big as strong as Buckley, but it was once out of 8 times. I think we can let him off. I think Kamaru Usman's going to shoot a few takedowns here, but he's also going to try and mix up the striking a little bit. But it's not going to be enough. Kamaru Usman will lose 3rd round TKO. Joaquin Buckley, hate to see it, it's going to happen. There it is.